I think Americans are so down on President Biden right now.
What do you mean?
I know you don't like to talk about polls like the 5 of 6 swing states that he is losing right now to somebody who is a criminal defendant. But more broadly, it doesn't seem like anything you guys are doing is making him more popular. Why do you think that is?
So you mentioned a criminal defendant, your words, not mine. So I want to be super mindful about how I answer this question because obviously that criminal defendant is also in the race for 2024 election. So I'm going to be super mindful there. I will speak more broadly to what the American people are going through. Like, we understand. We are sensitive enough and open-minded enough to understand that this is, that not just this country, but globally, people have had to deal with a pandemic.
That's a lie.
And coming out of that pandemic, we understand that even, you think about gas prices, and because of Putin's war, what that has occurred, that led to gas prices increasing. And the president had a lot to deal with when he walked in. A lot of crises. And this is a president that took that very, very seriously and took action. The American Rescue Plan, no Republicans voted for that, but we ended up trying to work to get an economy that's fairer for all and make sure that we don't leave people behind, and creating 15 million jobs, an unemployment rate that's under 4%. We understand that people are still feeling this. We get that.
Oh, hell no!
And we're not blind to that. That's why you hear the president pretty regularly announcing how he is going to lower costs for the American people, whether it's Big Pharma, trying to lower healthcare costs, expanding ACA for those who truly need it, or it is making sure that we get rid of junk fees that cost Americans a lot of money every year. So look, we know it's going to take a little bit of time. We get that. And we are going to continue to, it's not going to stop us from talking about it, and it's also not going to stop us from talking about the contrasts that we see from GOP Republican congressional members who want to do the opposite of what the president is trying to get done. Cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, that is what they're talking about. Slashing taxes for billionaires and corporations. That's not what this president wants to do. He wants to make sure that we're building an economy from the bottom up, middle out. And again, we get it. We get that prices are too high for Americans, and that's what we're going to continue to do the work.
I get that you understand that people are hurting right now. Why is it that nothing you're doing to address their concerns is working?
Good question.
What I'm saying is we're going to continue to do the work. I can't speak to the polls, right? Those are for folks who are experts who can do a deep dive and look into that and speak to them. What I can speak to is we understand what the American people is feeling. We understand what they're going through. That's why we're going to continue to do the work. 301 tariff, that's part of it, right? Making sure that we're protecting American workers, making sure that we're protecting American businesses. That's the work that the president's going to focus on, and we're going to continue to move in that way.
So, more broadly then, have you considered in the White House that some of President Biden's recent policy positions could be a turnoff to the people that used to like him?
Thank you.
So here, I would disagree with you there, because a lot of the policies that the president is pushing forward are incredibly popular. They are. Student debt. Even though you have Republicans who stopped the president on moving with his plan on student debt, that's actually very popular with Americans. Fighting Big Pharma, that's popular with Americans, right? Making sure that we lower costs on healthcare, that's popular with Americans. So what the president is actually doing is popular with what majority of Americans want to do, even in protecting reproductive rights, something that Republicans are not on the right side of history. You think about what extreme elected officials want to do. The president wants to protect and make sure that we actually are giving a woman a right to make really difficult decisions on their health care. So that part I certainly disagree with you on. Go ahead, Jared.
Thanks, Karine. Some recent polls, and I know you've said the president doesn't govern looking at polls, but some have shown his popularity eroding amongst young people and also non-whites, and it's not only related to Israel. is he aware of that? Is he gonna try to refocus his messaging or tweak it to speak directly to those groups that have felt left behind?
Nice.
So look, and going to be mindful about this upcoming election. Not going to comment about that, the 2024 election, or how these polls will affect the 2024 election. Going to be super mindful, but more broadly, we believe that young Americans support the president's agenda more broadly, right? In an overwhelming way. And the president has stood with young Americans on many of the issues that they care about, because you said beyond what's happening in the Middle East. And so when it comes to climate change, right, that's something that he's been very clear about.
That's a damn lie.
And has been the most progressive president on that particular issue. And he's going to continue to do that. We understand as well that while the economy is turning around, and you've heard me talk at the top about the 15 million jobs created and what we've been able to do to turn around the economy, we understand that prices are too high, and young people in particular are feeling that. And so we're going to continue to work on those issues. We're going to continue to do everything that we can to lower cost. I talked about the situation in the Middle East and how young Americans are feeling about what they're seeing in Gaza, and we understand how painful it is, this moment is for them.
That's a lie.
That's why we've been working so hard to try to get a deal that would lead us to a ceasefire, get hostages home, and make sure that we get that humanitarian aid. Let's not forget that the U.S. has led the effort in getting humanitarian assistance into Gaza. And so, going to be super mindful about the particular polling questions, but we do believe that we want to make sure that we have an economy that works for young people. We want to make sure that we listen to young people and hear them out.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we continue to work on some of the issues that the president has talked about, whether it's student debt relief. This is something that the president, it's not going to stop him from doing the work that he has been very clear about wanting to deliver for the American people, including young Americans. So,
Messaging to minorities?
well, and what do you mean specifically about that?
Hispanic voters?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to speak to Hispanic voters, or voters more specifically, but if you look at what the president has been able to accomplish for different communities, we have seen an economy that he has created, right, that he's wanted to create, that is not a trickle-down economy, that is very much from the bottom up, middle out. And you've seen unemployment go down for the Hispanic community. You've seen wealth, when we talk about wealth gap, closing the wealth gap.
On the horizon, has set his song. A boy with dream and joy, turn big TV. Tall, unique brawlers, the military river. His side to a sunset in the guarded sky. Daring it did challenging, like madam try on the shutter on its own. We dream away in the queen for Christmas, a tattoo recon. He tried come, we are petition prefer, we shattered horizon. We dream moon fruit in the flat is spent. We hold with every challenge, like a predator. A journey of children in the errand to dry. A boy with dream in your eye, turn me TV. Unique brawlers, see we meet Terry River. He sighed to a sunset in the gathered sky. Nerving it to the turn, challenging. Lion met them try on shutter on his own. We dream on way into queen from business. A tattoo recon. He tried to come. We unbeat this and prefer. We shattered horizon. We dream on front in the right is spent. We hope sweet with every challenge. Like a predator friend. A joy option proof. In every to draw.